Hello, welcome to scr1tno Knitting Project podcast. My name is Sharon and I'm coming to you from Surrey in the UK, where I live with my family, 3 cats and a dog. This is episode 31 and it is Thursday and I believe it's the 19th of September 2019. Welcome to any new viewers, welcome back to any returning viewers, thank you for joining me today. Fair warning, it is a high knitting content one this time and quite a quick one because I am leaving to go to Ireland later on today. Nothing like trying to squeeze in a quick podcast. Right, so first things first, Ravelry Group. We've posted out all the prizes, so hopefully they are winging their way to you if you're a prize winners. We have the Stripy Sock KAL going on for the current KAL, which is running until the 30th of November, and I've also got a giveaway on last week's podcast, which if you want to see what that's all about, go check out last week's podcast, which I will draw prizes for on my next podcast, which probably won't be next week, it'll probably be the week after. If you take part in that, you need to leave the comments on the other video or in the Ravelry group. I think that's it for admin. I can't think of anything else right now. You can find me as scr1tno on pretty much everywhere, and please forgive the background noise, my family are at home today. So the knitting project was born by my way of going through my whips, and the idea is that I have a 6-day rolling rotation of whips, which means day 1 is something, day 2 is something, and it's over 6 days because during the week I'm busier on some days than others. Like on Tuesday I have guides, so I don't get as much done on a Tuesday. So that's where it's born from, and that's how I kind of format my podcast. I know I've got a few new viewers, new subscribers at the moment, so I thought I'd try and explain that a little bit. You're probably even more confused now than when you started. But basically, you'll see as I go through it, it will make sense, hopefully. If it doesn't, please leave the question down below and I'll try and answer it, or in the Ravelry group or the episode thread. All show notes can be found in the Ravelry group. I have comprehensive show notes. I have links to all the podcasts I watch, and I have links to all the makers that I mention in the podcast. If anything is missing, please do give me a nudge and I will add it. So day 1 is socks, and I've kind of got an FO, as has Laura of the Lonely Knitter podcast. Now, bless Laura, I've adopted her as my yarn daughter because although I have 3 daughters, none of them are really into yarn. My eldest is a little bit, but they're not really that interested. And we met up at the Southern Wool Show, and bless her, she made me a pair of socks. Only she didn't put the heel in because she didn't know where to put it. So she gave it to me and said, do your own heel. Which I have done. I have cut in my heel. First time I've ever done a true afterthought heel. I'll be honest and say, I would rather put the forethought heel in with the waist yarn. Yeah, I did it. It wasn't too bad, and as you can see, there's no holes. You know, my heels have got, there are 2, I hasten to add, there are 2. And yeah, there's no holes. So I've picked up okay. I mean, I have to credit the lovely Ellie of Craft House Magic for a tutorial she did about splitting sock tubes, because I sat there with her where she shows how she cuts in her heel and did it. So yeah, so I've done it. So I have got, these are washed and blocked, I have technically got a finished object, but all I had to do was the heel, so it's a bit of a cheat. So Laura, so have you, you've got a finished object too. Feel free to knit that as a screenshot for your podcast. And this yarn is Lay Family yarn in her winter solstice colour way, and it's really pretty. I love this colour, so pretty. Right, so that's sock number 1. I love taking socks out of the house to work on, and I'd got to the stage where all my socks were at the awkward stage. So last sock day, which I think was Saturday, I sat there and sorted all my socks out. So I cut in those heels so they were done. And then I've done all the tricky bits on all the socks. So these are my emergency grab and go socks, and they're living in a Love to Sew bag. And they are literally they sit by the door, and if I am running out rapidly, I take them with me. And this is some MCN, and here we go. Now, I was where that sheep is, so I have turned the heel. Not quite sure what's going on with these. What is going on? Oh, am I in? Okay, yep, that makes sense. I'm in the middle of a row. That's why these aren't doing anything. Now this here is how I work out how many rows I've done on my slip stitch heel when I'm out and about and don't want to keep stopping to count them. I pop in each time I slip, so on a right side row I pop in a bulb stitch marker, and when I have 15 of these I have 30 rows basically. So all I've got to do is count stitch markers, which is actually a lot easier, especially if it's it's poor light. So yeah, that's what those are all about. So that's now been turned, so I'm just going to do the decreases, which I can do as a go project. As I said, slightly confused why I'm in the middle of a row, but that's obviously where I stopped. I think I'd got to guides. I think I was knitting these in the car, going to guides Tuesday night because Kate was driving, my eldest was driving, because she does guides with me, and I think we'd got there, so I ended up leaving that. So I might actually leave that out and just, when I'm nattering later, finish that row. So that's that sock. My next sock is living in my Sherry Iris bag, and that is a sock blank from Hedgerow Yarns, which is really pretty. There's a theme to this colour, you'll see in a minute. And again, I did the same thing. I was there where that stitch marker is, and that's a corner of craft stitch marker, and I turn the heel. So again, I'm on the gusset decreases. So pretty. So pretty. I do like how it's all crinkly. As I said, it looks a bit like crepe paper. Don't know if you have crepe paper in the States. And that's living in a needle cozy from Crofton's Magic. Oh yeah, it's coming straight from, I'm just knitting literally straight from the sock blank. So that's another one, another plain vanilla. And last but not least is where is she? There you go, show your face, not your bum. My lovely yarn bowl from my daughter. And I have finished, I haven't finished, I've put the toe in the first sock there. I'm really liking how this cream looks with these minis. So I was there, so I've put the toe in. Now these are a forethought afterthought heel and have got the waist yarn in there. So they're there. That's where I'm going to cut in the heel, or pick up for the heel. So that's the first sock. And then I started, oh, it's covered in ends. I don't know why it's covered in ends, but it's covered in ends. And I started my second sock. So now I'm just going round and round on that, and this is in Whimsy Stitches needle cap holder. And these are all minis from Lay Family Yarn. This is her Iron Bridge collection. I really need to clean out this bowl. They're all bitty. Right, now that is a Lay Family Yarn, but it's a different collection. That came from a sock set I used for a shawl. And then there's that one. That one. And that one. So yeah, they're my current Scrappy socks, which I think I really like them. As I said, I like how they look with that white. I'm looking forward to cutting in the white heel. So yes, I spent the whole time of my sock day getting all of those to a stage where I could just work on them, so that I can just grab them and go. Which is just as well, because I am going away and I tend to work mostly on socks when I go away. Although I have got an exciting new project which I'll show you in a bit. So I wanted them all at a stage where I could just go round and round if I'm in the car. So that's day one, socks. So day two is shawl day. And the one I worked on this week is hanging out in my Dorothy bag by, is it Bags by Donna? And was a set that came from Knit Style Yarns. And in here I have a Free Your Fade, which is done in Knit Circus, a Knit Circus gradient. That's the label. There we go. So it's a Knit Circus gradient. And I grabbed this because my Maytham shawl is currently at a lacy part. So I can't grab it and go in the car, where this one I can grab and go in the car. I'm in the middle of a row on this too. I'm doing really well from middle of the row. And I was there. I've only done a little bit, but I have done up to there. It's getting a little bit longer now, which I can't really show you because I'm in the middle of a row. So yeah, so this is my Free Your Fade. It's going to have one set of yarn overs in it because you can't really see them in this yarn. So I decided I'm just going to keep going until I've run out of yarn or it's big enough. But it's really pretty. It's getting a little bit done on it now. But this is great car knitting, and this was on shawl day. As I said, it was my Maytham shawl is a lace section, so I couldn't take that out with me. So I thought, well, I'm just going to have that a plain shawl that I know I can take out. So it's working quite well to have a plain shawl for shawl day when I can't concentrate on it. So yeah, that worked. That worked really well. So yeah, that's my sort of Free Your Fade, which is a pattern by Andrea Mowry. As I said, living in my Dorothy bag. She's pretty. So that's day 2 shawl day. So day 3 is garment day. And yeah, this happened. If you're a regular viewer of the podcast, you will know I finally finished my Understated by Hoki Locatelli. So I had new cast on for garment day, which is fine because I want to make the lovely Laura of the Lonely Knitting podcast is expecting a baby. And so I decided I wanted to make her, bear with me, there we go, the baby vertebrae, which is by, oh helpful, Kelly Van Niekirk, sorry, that's the little, it's a cute baby, isn't it? So it's basically a frontless cardigan, so that when they lay on their fronts like this or they split up, then your cardigan's not going to get completely covered. So yeah, so I'm making it in DK, and I'm making the 3 to 6 month size. And I am using Felt Fusion Forest Floor, and it's actually a sparkle. It's really pretty. And I have got right, here we go. So cute. I've forgotten how cute baby items are. So I'm currently going around the sleeve. That's the sleeve, and then that's the body. So I've left it on the bottom. I can't remember why I've left the bottom on the bottom. I've left the bottom for a reason. Maybe I had to find the needles, can't remember, so I decided to start on the sleeves. So this is brand new cast on. Baby items are so quick to knit, aren't they? So hopefully I will have this done very shortly. But I did get a little bit sidetracked with another project, which you'll see. So yeah, that's the baby vertebrae, which I'm really looking forward to finishing. And now I've got it out of the bag even more so, and that is living in my bag from So Sweet Violet, a patchwork bag. So that's my first garment. So my next item is also a garment. Now a long while ago I bought from the warehouse a load of Sardar Sublime. It's a merino silk, I believe. It's baby cashmere merino silk. They're 50 gram balls, and they are DK. That's what the word I was looking for. They're DK, so that's what they are. Now they've been sitting in my stash for months and months and months and months. And I decided I really, really, really wanted to make something colourwork out of them because I love all these colours together. So I've been searching for a colourwork sweater for quite a while that I thought would work with them. And during my lunch hour, I was having a bit of a search on Ravelry, and I came across this, which is the Ingrid pullover by Isabel Kramer, which is a colourwork jumper. Now it calls for sport weight, and I've got DK. However, my gauge isn't too far off, to be fair. It's not massively off. It's like a stitch off or half a stitch off, so I'm not worried about that because I don't mind if it's a bit bigger. However, it does call for 6 colours and I've only got 4, I think. 4 or 5. Hold on, let me just count up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 colours and it needed 6. So there, I can't really show you the chart, but one of the colours is very close to the colour that I'm using in my main body, so I'm just using my main body colour for that part of the chart. Now I decided to make sure that I mean, this is not me at all, I swatched. There we go, it's my little swatch. Just to make sure that the colours went together. You could see them. That one you can't see it as well, but you can actually still see it. So yeah, to see what the colours look like and to see whether it would work with the blue in the middle rather than a different colour, which it does. Blue or mint green, take your pick as to what colour you call this. So I decided I'm going to make myself a colourwork yoke sweater from my Sardar Sublime. It's not ideal because it's silk, so it's not grippy, so it's not what you'll normally use for a colourwork. However, it seems to be working out fine. You can't see the other colours through the back, even with it pulled out. And it's lovely. I mean, it's super soft. It's going to be gorgeous to wear. So of course I had to cast it on. Having done that, I fell in love with it. I was like, do you know what? I need to cast on. So this is sort of all I've been working on this week, to be fair. Well, certainly the last, well, I say this week, it's the last couple of days. This is literally 2 days work, but I fell in love with it. I should explain that because my rolling rotation is 6 days, depending on when they fall, one of the days is always, you get 2 of in the podcast, because the podcast is 7 days and my rotation is 6, and it happened to be garment day that you got 2 of this week, which is why I've got both of these sorted. Right, get it to the point where I can show you. So this is the start of my sweater. There we go. Right, that's the neck. It has got short row shaping on the back, so the back of the neck is higher than the front. And then, there we go. I've got the first little pattern sorted of the colour. I can maybe be able to pull that out a little bit for you so you can actually see it on the needles. It's really difficult to show it because it's obviously colour work in the round. I'm so pleased with how that's turning out. I love the colour as well. They're very me colours, aren't they? So yes. Now I'm going away, so I'm going off project anyway, because I always do when I go away. And I am hoping to get at least all the yoke done on this and maybe get started on the rest of the sweater too. Oh, I just love it. It's so pretty. So yes, it's commercial yarn. Yes, I love it. I mean, this one I'm wearing here is sort of commercial yarn. It's Rowan, but again, it's still commercial. And this is, as I said, it's just Sardar, but it's super soft, and I just think the colours are beautiful. It's not the cheapest of the commercial yarn, but I think the whole lot cost me about £50, so I should be able to get a sweater out of it. Certainly cheaper than using indie dyed yarn, but I really want to work from my stash at the moment, and I want to knit jumpers, obviously. that's pretty much a given, isn't it? So yeah, that's the bag. And that's my floats. Mind floats are not the neatest. So if you haven't got neat floats, join the club. We'll have t-shirts made. My floats aren't neat either. But I was really conscious. I wanted to make sure I had enough give in this, so that it wasn't a tight band around here. So yeah, my floats are probably a bit floatier than they needed to be, but I don't think that's really going to be an issue. So yeah, so that's the Ingrid by Isabel Kramer. Big fan of Isabel Kramer's patterns. The ED t-shirt that I knit 4 of is an Isabel Kramer, so I'm enjoying knitting it very much. So yeah, we'll see how far we're going to get on that. It is not living in a project bag right now because it's such a new cast on. I haven't found a project bag for it. I might have to dig out the one I used for my Penguono, because it's going to need quite a large project bag because there's quite a few balls of wool that go with it. So at the moment it is literally just living in here with its balls of wool, but I will try and find a project bag for it. So yeah, that's day 3, garment day. So day 4 is crochet day, and the minis for this project are hanging out in my lovely So Beautiful by Nicola bag, which is massive and has all my minis in it. I don't know if you can't really see that, because all you can see is a piece of paper. Can you see in there? Loads of minis. I've got loads of minis in there. Oh, and I am doing the Battenberg blanket by Sandra of Cherry Heart, and this is where I got to this week. Now, did I confuse everybody last week trying to tell you how I was doing this? So these are the bits, the top bits sort of done. Now, I was having an issue joining them because I was ending up with loads and loads of ends. So what I am now doing is I am crocheting all the little squares. So this is this week's at the bottom there. There we go, starting at the purple one. So I'm crocheting all the little squares individually for a row. As you can see, they're all hanging there floppy at the bottom, and then I'm attaching them in one go along there. So there's gaps here at the moment, but I'm attaching them all along the bottom. Can you see they're all attached? Yeah, they're all attached. You can see them all attached. And when I finished doing the cross rows, I'm going to attach them this way down here in one big go. Theoretically, then I have one end at that end and one end at that end to sew in. Because although I am a willing end weaver, there are limits to my patience. So this is this week's. So these are all West Green Loft yarns, and that's a purple. That's my plain I'm using is Bothy and the Squid. It's a sparkle. I don't think you can see it sparkling on the camera, but it is a sparkle. And then that's the variegated. Another plain, sort of a peachy pink. Another plain, sort of limey yellow green. Another plain, an actual pink, and another plain. And now my little stitch markers. These are all West Green Loft yarns. That's a little bunny. That is a little, I love this, it's a little camper van. Little pink camper van. That is a little pink sewing machine. Yeah, it is a sewing machine. I was trying to work out if it's a sewing machine or a food mixer. That's another bunny. That is a little bunny tail. That is a rose gold butterfly. That is a star, but I don't know who that's from. That's not West Green Loft Yarns, I don't think. That is a bulb. Not a bulb, a snow globe stitch marker. I don't know who that's from either. That is a bunny, that's So Sweet Violet. And that is another butterfly, and that's West Green Loft Yarns. So my current minis are in the ball, the purple, the lime green, the pink, which has undressed itself, the multicolour, which is really pretty, that multicolour to be fair, and the peach pink, it's a sort of blush. And yes, I am absolutely loving this. Oh, apparently I'm halfway through a little plain square. Okay. So yeah, that's my day 4 at the moment, is my Battenberg blanket, and it's really coming on. I love the colours. Really love the colours. Hope you can see it. That's another one that I'm going to get to the stage where I'm going to have to start taking photos of it. And that is living in my little hoggy bag by Busy Pottering. So that's day 4, crochet day. Day 5 is mystery blanket day, and I haven't got anything for day 5 this time because I have finished catching up my Cozy Memory blanket. Well, at least I had. I'm actually slightly behind on that again now. I'll tell you about that later. But I haven't got around to sorting out all my squares for my mystery blanket, so I'm not going to do that till I'm back from holiday now. So I will, next time we have a proper podcast, theoretically, hopefully I will have something for mystery blankets. That's day 5. So day 6 is Scrappy Budget day, and that is hanging out in my Woodland Animals bag from Busy Pottering. And I am currently working on my Bits and Bobs blanket, which is a pattern by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. And I did, see my little sloth, that's a stitch marker from the corner of craft. I did from there to there, so a fair bit of this one this week. It's kind of my comfort blanket. If I'm having a down day, I tend to reach for this. So, as you can see, I'm going into the purpley colour now. Can you see that on there? I'm using a commercial Sheepy's Whirl. Thank you to the person who had the idea of putting the toilet roll holder in the middle of it. That is a very good idea. I'm going to try that because it keeps collapsing. Not great. It's not happy. So I am currently on the green in the middle, as you can see. I'll be going to the purple and then the blue, and then this started out blue, but only because I had you see it's blue at the bottom, I had a leftover Sheepy's Whirl that was the same colourway, so I started it in the blue, and then it's going to fade back into the blue. So I'm on the green at the moment. You can see it's quite green, but you can clearly see the other colours as well, which is cool. It's so soft and squidgy. It's very long, so I can't really show it to you all. I can do that so you can see the middle bit, but I can't show it to you all the full width because it is very, very long. And then I did a magic knot ball. Now, I think my lovely friend Jean, who comments on my videos, was asking about how I do a magic knot ball. Ellie of Craft House Magic has a brilliant tutorial for how to do it, and it's the same way as I do mine. And literally I just knot on my leftovers. Now what I do with my leftover yarn, like for instance, I'll give you an example, although I wouldn't do it with this because it's an MCM, but I'm knitting a pair of socks in this. Once I've finished my pair of socks, I will then, if I'm not going to make shorties with it, which I sometimes do, sometimes I don't, I will then put this in my cozy memory blanket, and then once I've done that, I will weigh it and I will wind off 10-gram minis that I can use for swaps or giveaways or in advent calendars, because I'm doing a couple of swaps with friends for advent calendars this year. So then I'll do that, and then normally once you've done that, you've round off your 10. You can end up with like 7 grams left, 5 grams left. What I have left I will then put into my magic knot ball. So I will always have a magic knot ball on the go. So in here I've got a leftover ball of yarn. Now normally I have a set of scales in here, but I haven't actually got the scales in here at the moment. I've got some tiny scales that I use. They're in something, I think I'll pack them. So this is my current magic knot ball that I'm doing. So I will, if I've got anything left over from this, once I've weighed it all out, like that one. Actually that looks like that's a complete mini. I'm thinking that's a 10 grams. So I've probably wound off the other bit of that. That's a sock blank as well, you can tell. So I will wind it onto here. So this is my current magic knot ball. This is a magic knot ball that I finished, which is of brighter yarns. So these ones are going to be, it's quite a bright magic knot ball, that one. So I probably wouldn't put that in my bits and bobs blanket, but I would put it in my corner to corner crochet blanket. How do I decide when something's finished? Normally it's because I can't physically wind it anymore because my hands are too small. That's normally when I finish it. That one, I'd say that one's more of a pastel one, but it's definitely got a darker colour in the middle, so I'm not quite sure what I was thinking on that one. So yeah, I keep this on my dining room table, and I throw my odds and ends in there, and then at some point when I'm fed up, I will sit there and wind things. So yeah, so that's my current magic knot ball, and I think I've got another one in here ready to go. I do. See, this one, I can only just hold it, so that was the maximum I could do for a magic knot ball, because I couldn't physically wind anything more on that. But I'm sure between that and that, it will outlast this. So yeah, that's my bits and bobs blanket by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears, and that is day 6 Scrappy Projects. Acquisitions. I have a little bit this week. First of all, it's Les Family Yarn, and this is her autumn collection minis, which is very pretty. They're lovely. Now I think I may make scrappy socks out of these, like I did with the Iron Bridge collection, and again put the white heels with it, because I really like that white heel look. And I might do the white cuffs as well, because I think I've got some undyed somewhere that isn't my Mothie and the Squid undyed for my Battenberg blanket. Aren't they pretty? Such pretty colours. So that's the Autumn Mini Collection by Les Family Yarn. My lovely friend Kelly. Hi Kelly. Right, the next up I have got is from Giddy Yarns. Now if you have her Cupcake Club, this is the current one, so if you do that, please look away now. I'm not taking it out of the cellophane. So this is it. Isn't that pretty? It's called Lion and the Coconut, and I just adore it. This is going with me on holiday because I want to make socks. And there's a little there that's got some little lime green and brown stitch markers. There's a little O-rings, which I adore those. So yeah, and then obviously you've got the instructions how to make the cupcakes in there as well. So that's really pretty. I love that, and that's Giddy Yarns. So if you have looked away, you can look back now for Giddy Yarns Cupcake Club. And the next thing I bought was a little set that she had on her website, which is a little rainbow bag from the little grey girl. The little triangle one. I've wanted one of these bags for ages. And so you can buy the bag, and then also you can buy separately the yarn that goes with it. And this is It's a Rainy Sunny Day, which I thought I'd use for my own cowl. As soon as I'm running a Stripy Sock KAL, I thought perhaps I ought to make a pair of stripy socks, really. So these are going in this. I'm going to make these. Again, this will go on holiday with me. I'm not going to have as much time as I think to knit all these socks. Slightly distracted by the fact my cat's just walked straight into the door. I miss it's glass, but bless her. Right, so yeah, isn't that lovely? I've also got 2 more coming from Laura, who yarn mulled for me in Perth. So that's Giddy Yarns. And then lastly, my other self-striping I've got is pink, green and blue 3-colour stripe from my lovely friend Jenny at Woolly Goodness Yarns. And I love this, it's so pretty. I mean, perfect spring socks, but oh, isn't that lovely? Oh, her logo. And this is a 75/25 merino nylon. Yeah. And I got a little bee stitch marker with it, and a daisy. Actually, that's probably not a daisy, is it? It's probably a different flower. So yeah, really love that. So that's my acquisitions this week. So that's it, I think. The only other stuff is life, and the big bit of that is the fact that we are about to go away. I'm just going to finish this sock while I'm sitting here. Just finish this round on this sock because that's going to bug me. We leave this afternoon for actually, I don't know where we're staying tonight, I'll be honest. I have no clue. We are leaving somewhere for between here in Surrey and Fishguard in Wales to stay the night tonight. And then we sail from Fishguard to Rosslare tomorrow to Ireland. And we are staying north of Wexford tomorrow night. And then on Saturday we drive from Wexford to Birr, which is where the Irish National Balloon Championships are held. And we will be there for a week. Now, I fully intend to vlog the whole thing. So hopefully there will be vlogs at time to time. Whether they're daily vlogs or whether they're just as and when I get time vlogs, it will depend rather on the weather. Because if the weather is really, really good for ballooning, then we're up early and off again quite early in the afternoon. And it will be a little bit more problematical for recording if that's the case. However, if the weather's not so good, then we will do some touring, and I will have time to upload. So that's my week coming up. My week just gone, I've worked my final shift with my daughter in the office, so that's bittersweet. I'm really glad for her to have a new job, but I'm really sad that she'll no longer be working with me. Otherwise, we're back to guides. Would be back to brownies, but I'm leaving tonight, so I'm not actually doing brownies tonight. So we're just sort of getting back into our kind of new routines. Obviously, Meg's just started uni, so she's got an awfully long day today. She doesn't finish till 7 o'clock tonight. So today's Thursday, so she doesn't finish till 7 on the Thursday. So she's got a very long day on Thursdays. But she seems to be enjoying it. There's a lot of travelling as well from here to where her uni is. She's living at home at the moment. Whether she'll carry on living at home, I don't know. She might very well get a place with somebody else at some point. So yeah, Charlie's settled into her new job and is really happy. And then obviously Kate will be finishing off at work while I'm on holiday. She will still be doing her job, and then she leaves when I get back. So she'll be off to pastures new too. That's what's going on really. All the animals are fine, thankfully. Belle's still plodding along, bless her. She's really quite well at the moment, which is good. And yeah, I'm off. I'm going to be going away. Now I'm taking my jumper with me because that's all I want to knit on. I am taking my spinning wheel with me, which will, the reason why will become apparent towards the end of my vlogs. And I'm taking some fibre with me to spin on said wheel. I am taking lots of socks with me because I really should learn that the only thing I tend to knit on when I'm away is socks. So it would make a lot of sense for me to actually just take socks with me. So I'm going to take all these sock whips that I've got, and I'm going to take my jumper. I don't know whether I'm going to take the baby vertebrae with me. I may not take that. I might wait and do that when I get back, because I think realistically I probably won't work on that. So I'll be off project next week. I will not be doing my rolling rotation of whips. I will do it when I get back. So by the time the next podcast comes out, which will be I won't record next Thursday because I will be away. I'll record the Thursday after that. So by that Thursday I should be back on project from the Sunday onwards. I think we come back on the Sunday the 29th. And then I'm going to a wedding fair with my eldest, so that's exciting. I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, from the 29th onwards I will be on project, so I'll be able to show you what I did while I was away and be back on project. So, and that'll be the one where I draw the prize for the giveaway. So now we've got a giveaway going for a lovely pattern called the Garden Collection from Ellie of Craft House Magic, who very kindly donated 3 patterns, and I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, Ellie. And if you want to see what all that's about, go check the Ravelry Group and check last week's podcast. And I will draw that on the first podcast back. So this is episode 31, so it'll be episode 32 it'll be drawn on, and which theoretically should be on the 3rd of October. That's when I'm going to aim to do it. So all things being well, it'll be the 3rd of October will be the next podcast, but I should vlog most days in between, hopefully. Or there will be one long "this is what I did" vlog, which is possible. I know we've got Wi-Fi where we're going, or at least we did last time we stayed there. It's a really nice little house that we're staying in. We're staying in an Airbnb, and there was definitely Wi-Fi last time we were there. So I think that's it from me this week. As I said, loads and loads of knitting. Not quite sure I got all the time to knit from this week, but when I was writing up the show notes I was like, oh my goodness, I've done so much. Which is nice. It's lovely to have so much content for the podcast. So I hope you all have a great week wherever you are. Take care. I'll either see you in the vlogs during the week, or I will see you in the next episode, which will be hopefully the 3rd of October. Take care. Bye.